Oh, brilliant. Okay, we're now live and I'm about to share the link. With all the friends on Facebook. Okay, give me 1 minute. And we should be live. All right. Hello everyone, welcome. Buongiorno a tutti. Eccoci qui per una nuova sessione di Learn Italian Live. Impariamo l'italiano live. In these sessions, you can ask me any questions, and I can also ask you any questions. But the idea is that you can ask me questions about examples and things related to Italian, the Italian language, Italian grammar, Italian pronunciation. And we usually use an image prompt for us to start the conversation. So I usually ask you, viewers, whether it's live in these sessions or if you're watching this as a recording, to try and come up with examples of Italian sentences. It doesn't matter how simple or how difficult. And the idea is that I'm going to go through your comments, your chat comments, and I am going to give you my 2 cents. I'm an Italian native speaker. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Italian and Italian grammar. So test me. Buongiorno a tutti. Buona domenica. Cominciamo. Vediamo. Ecco, ci sono già delle persone collegate. Benvenuti. Welcome everyone. As you can see, we have an image that we can describe. Let me know if you can hear me correctly, well, if you can see me well, and post in the comments, in the chat, something in Italian to do with the image. Ciao Claudio, buona domenica. Ciao Arturo, come stai? Il tempo oggi è favoloso, molto bello. Non so in America dove sei tu, ma qui è fantastico. The weather is really good today. I'm in Italy, and yeah, it's very beautiful. It doesn't even seem like winter. It should be a lot colder, I think, but it's 17 degrees Celsius. Bene. Ragazzi, quando siete pronti, scrivete qualche esempio, così possiamo cominciare. I'm going to wait another 30 seconds and then we're going to get started. Hopefully there's going to be some examples coming from you, because those are the best examples. Today we can talk about describing a town. It could be a city, it could be a small village, it could be a metropolis, but describing something to do with, you know, buildings, roads. We have some sort of mountain town, village in the image. So, di dove sei in Italia? È questa immagine. Okay, I'm going to use this question as an example because I think it can be improved. Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Buon pomeriggio, Franci. Let's answer a question and talk about the question at the same time. We can use this to start. If you've just joined, remember, type in the chat any comment, or type any comment to do with what you see in the image, whether it's a comment on the image or a description. So I've received this question, right? This is a question. Di dove sei in Italia è questa immagine? Okay, so by the way, I'm always picky. I'm always strict, because this is the setting to be like this, right? If this was a conversation in real life, I would just answer the question. The question is not clear, so I want to make sure that we talk about this. What does this mean? What does this question mean? Again, feel free to pause the video if you're not watching this live and think about it. Di dove sei? So first of all, this is a question, right? Di dove sei? This is a very common question. It literally means dove, very important interrogative adverb. It means where, right? You might have heard in English there's the 5 or 6 or 7 W's. What, who, when, where, etc., etc. How, I guess, would be an exception. It doesn't start with a W, but you get the point, right? So we have whose, etc. So we have these W's in English. They're very useful. They are interrogative adverbs. We use these to ask questions. And we can also use them in other contexts. Cosa, this would be the Italian translation. Again, pause the video, think about it. Can you remember? Do you know? Cosa. Who is chi? When is quando? I had a bit of a moment. Where is dove? How is come? Right? Very simple to pronounce, very easy to remember words that should be in your vocabulary. These allow you to make questions, but also to form sentences. For example, I like what you said. Now, in this case scenario, and by the way, can you see the screen? Can you please, guys, give me a thumbs up? Can you type 2 in the chat if you can see the screen and hear me well? It would really help. So please type 2 in the chat if you can hear me well, and if you can see me well, or if there's any issue. If you have any issue, type 1. So I like what you said. I like what you said would be mi piace. Well, it's actually this is difficult to translate, because in Italian it would be mi piace quello che dici, o quello che hai detto. Quello che hai detto. What would translate with quello che? It's a very complicated thing now explaining this. I want to keep these sessions easy, but you don't know what you're talking about. Non sai cosa dici. So what is cosa? Clear, right? So we have these adverbs. They're adverbs because they never change. That's actually nice. There's no gender, plurality, nothing. They're just fixed. And we can use them in questions, but we can also use them in statements, right? Non sai cosa dici. You don't know. What? Cosa? What, right? dici what you are talking about, cosa stai dicendo, if you want to really use the present continuous as opposed to just, present simple. It doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. The point that I'm making is dove is a word that we should know very well how to handle because it's one of the most important, I made a mess. It's one of the most important words. It has to do with where, location. Dove sei? So, in other words, dove sei is its own sentence. It means where are you? Dove sei? Di dove sei? This is a very common question, right? Even amongst native speakers. Di dove sei? Di dove sei means where are you? And then di usually means of, right? Of. Di carta, of paper. È fatto di carta. It's made of paper. But in this case, it means from. Where are you from? Not of, right? So, di dove sei? We could also add something to this question. We could just say di, copy pasting, di dove sei? In Italia. Now, it's not the best phrased question, but anybody hearing this question would understand. It means, where are you from within Italy, right? I understand you're Italian. Where are you from within Italy? Di dove sei in Italia? I think a more natural way to ask this could be in Italia, dove? So, where in Italy? It's the same you would say in English, right? Are you from England? Okay, where in England? Or are you from Scotland or from, India or anywhere? I'll delete that. Let's stick with this one. Di dove sei in Italia? So, where are you from within Italy? I think this could work. Bene. Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Sì, un esempio. Sorry, I'm reading the chats. Ciao a tutti. Buongiorno, buongiorno. Ciao Mark. 2. Oh, grazie. Ok, bene. Bene. Okay, so you can hear me fine. That's good. All right, let's continue. Sorry, I just got distracted. Okay. Okay, so we've come to understand that this bit of a sentence means where are you from in Italy. By the way, the answer would be Genova. For those of you that don't know, this is where I'm from. Let's just make it absolutely obvious. There you go, Genova. And if you don't know where it is, you're forgiven, but you can Google it. Let me know if you have questions about it, because I'm very proud of where I'm from. So I wouldn't mind talking about Genova one of these, in one of these sessions, because these sessions are meant to be for learning, but also a little bit casual at the same time. Di dove sei in Italia? È questa immagine? Okay, so this is confusing. So this is why this question is a little bit, confusing, because it's okay until here, and then è is with the accent, with the grave accent. This is the verb to be. It is. So either we ask di dove sei in Italia, or we ask because the other question could be questa immagine, this image. So where in Italy is this image from? Like, well, what part of Italy are we capturing in this image? So this is a more complex question, right? And if that were to be the case, then we could ask, dove, and by the way, if you're Italian and you're in the chat, let me know if you have any better suggestion. But dove in Italia, dove è, this is what I would ask. Dove è stata scattata questa immagine? Or, and I'm going to explain. And by the way, this is a difficult exercise, right? What we are trying to ask in Italian is, where was this picture taken in Italy? So we are assuming that it was taken in Italy, right? Which is not the case, by the way. This image is just a random image. So it could be in Europe, could be in Italy, could be somewhere else. Dove è stata scattata questa immagine? In che in quale parte d'Italia è stata scattata questa foto? Okay, so we have two options. We have two examples of how this question could be asked. It's a fairly complicated question, actually. And there are many ways to ask things, obviously. And these are two possible solutions to the problem. By the way, I'm going to go and explain this, but I do appreciate that it's taking quite a while. If you have any examples, feel free to post it in the chat. I'm going to be monitoring the chat a little bit better in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have a question, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we can continue with this example. So we've seen that this doesn't really make sense because we have we have questa immagine, which is a phrase, this image, and then we have where from in Italy, di dove sei, maybe it could be di dove è questa immagine. So the attempt here is, where is this image taken from? But it's even then, it wouldn't be completely correct. So I'm just going to delete that and continue on with the example. So we're building up from dove sei, where are you? And by the way, dove è would be where is it, right? If we're talking about the image, third person singular, dove è, dov'è, dove sei, where are you? Di dove sei, where are you from? Di dov'è, this would be where is it from? So where is it from? So this could be a way to ask. If we're already talking about an image and the image is in the context of the conversation, we could just say di dov'è? Di dov'è, meaning where is it from? If we are talking about a person, say a guy or a girl, di dov'è? In that sense, it would mean where is he from or where is she from, right? It it, he, she, they are all three third person singular. So the question wouldn't change. Di dov'è? Di dov'è? Where is it from? Where is he from? Where is she from? Dov'è? Where is it? Where is he? Where is she? Right? If you don't know where your, I don't know, your friend just left, dov'è? Chiamiamolo. Let's make a phone call. Right. Di dove sei in Italia? Okay, we've seen this this sentence. So let's analyze these two sentences. Dove è stata scattata questa immagine? This is a very plain question. We have the usual dove. Questa immagine is the usual, run-of-the-mill noun. Immagine, image, immagine. It's a very good word because it's similar to English, it's 100% correct, and it's very generic. It could be a photo, it could be a drawing, it could be any kind of image, some pixel art, anything. Immagine. Questa is a word that we've seen so many times, is a very important adjective, pronoun, can be used in different ways, but basically means this, that. Useful words. Questa immagine. Immagine is feminine, and so even if it ends in E, it's irregular. Questa ends in A because it's associated with a feminine noun. Questa immagine. Stata scattata. Now, this is the present perfect. Scattare. Scattare una foto. It means to take a photo. Scattare. Scattare is a verb that is very much sort of associated with taking photos. So you can't use it it's not like a super common verb. It's precisely scattare una foto. Also, we could use fare una foto. Fare una foto. To take a photo, right? Literally to make a photo. Fare means to make or to do. In English, you have two verbs. In Italian, it's always fare. So we can replace the past participle scattata with fatta. This is easier. So we can use the verb fare as well. Dove è stata fatta? Dove è stata fatta? So where was the image taken? Where has the image been taken? Literally. Because in Italian we always use the present perfect. We don't use the past simple. Dove è stata fatta questa immagine? So where has the image been taken? I hope that's correct. So this is, I'm just going to put it small here. No, there you go. So that's the English translation of that sentence. Bear in mind, both sentences have the same meaning. They're interchangeable. Fatta, scattata, it doesn't matter. So remember, scattare una foto, scattare una fotografia, fare una foto, fare una fotografia. These are completely interchangeable. So there you go. This was the simplest way to ask that question. Where was the image taken? By the way, in English, you would use the past simple. So where was the image taken? This image, right? The other way to ask the same question would be, this. And this is more accurately describing what the original comment was, because the original comment had Italy in it. Italia. We know what Italia means. By the way, do you guys have any questions? I forget to look at the... Oh my goodness. Yeah, forget to look at the chat. Let's have a 1 minute break. And then, yeah, it's already been 25 minutes. And then the time flies in these sessions. Then we can carry on with that last sentence. Ciao Arturo, ciao Mark. Arturo, di dove sei? Sono abito in Staten Island, New York. Abito in, oppure sono in, but you cannot use both. Sono abito in. Either you say I am in, Italy, or you say I live in Italy. You cannot say I am live in Italy. E tu? Incontriamoci un giorno. Fantastico. Hillsborough. I hope I pronounced that correctly. That's awesome. Brilliant. Okay, so I am going to stop intruding in the chat and only comment on questions related to the image. So here's the last sentence that I'm going to cover today. Then guys, feel free to ask questions, random questions, whatever, after this. So let's focus for the last 5 minutes. We have been trying to find a way to ask in Italian, where was this picture taken from within Italy? And we've come up with 2 solutions. One is, dov'è stata fatta questa immagine? Dove è stata fatta questa immagine? We can even, because we have 2 vowels that look the same, we can even do this. Dov'è? Dov'è? As opposed to dove è? Dov'è stata fatta questa immagine? We don't need the space, perhaps. No, definitely we don't. Dove è stata fatta questa immagine? Dove è stata fatta questa immagine? Dove è stata scattata questa immagine? Okay, 3 variations of the same thing. Another example could be this. In quale parte d'Italia è stata scattata questa foto? So you'll notice that we use foto instead of immagine, but really, I mean, it's the same kind of thing, right? So I'm going to highlight it in the same kind of way. There you go. Questa foto. Right. Italia. This should be familiar to most people in this chat. And, anyone's watching really. Italia means Italy. In quale parte? Parte means part. 1 part, 2 parts, and quale is another very important word. Oh, sorry, we didn't cover it. Which is quale. As you can see, these W's, these questions, they're called question words. They're also called interrogative adverbs. Whatever you want to call them, maybe you don't want to call them, that's fine. They're very useful, as I said. Quale means which. So, quale. Quale means which. So, which part of Italy, or literally is in. In which part of Italy? Di apostrofo means di. It should be di, which becomes d, because we would have di Italia. Di Italia. So di ends in I, and Italia begins in I, so to make the pronunciation easier, d'Italia. Which part of Italy è stata scattata? Same thing. È stata scattata. È stata fatta. Was taken. Which part of Italy was this photo taken? We use foto or fotografia instead of image. Same thing. So I'm gonna make it a little smaller. In quale parte d'Italia è stata scattata questa foto? Fatta is another version. I mean, we can change it like dove in Italia. We can put the same dove that we liked so much. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Does anybody have any questions, any doubts? Am I going too fast? Am I going too slowly? Please feel free to comment and let me know, right? Se vado troppo veloce o troppo piano, fammi sapere. Dimmi. Sì, per praticare la lingua italiana. Bene. Allora, siamo andati avanti per 30 minuti. So we've been active, we've been learning, practicing Italian for over 30 minutes. What do you think of this session? Let me know. If you want to, maybe if you have comments about the formats or what we've been covering or the image that I've been putting up, let me know. Sono molto contento che ci sono un po' di persone collegate. I'm very happy that we have people connected every Sunday live as well to attend these sessions. If you have any last comments or questions, let me know. Otherwise, guys, feel free to leave. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. It really helps. Post a comment if you haven't yet. And I'll see you guys the next Sunday for another session. Visit italianmastery.com if you want to know about the best Italian course in the world. And with that, I am going to, I think it's been a pleasure. This is it. Grazie. Grazie Anthony. Grazie a te. So let me see. Today we've covered, I might actually change the title slightly because today we focused really on questions. Domande. Come fare domande. Pronomi interrogativi. Altre domande. Questo è un altro pronome interrogativo. Dove? Questa foto, that's just arbitrary noun, phrase, makes no difference to the main topic at hand. Yeah, we've listed all the ones that are common in English and then their Italian translation. So I think, this would be a better... we ended up focusing on this, so you don't know what you're talking about. Non sai cosa dici. Right, so remember, these are question words, but these can and are used also in the affirmative version, not just in questions and in asking questions. This is not just English or Italian, but most languages have this feature of reusing these adverbs for statements when we want to use relative pronouns, for example. You don't know what, what is still used, even if this is not a question. Non sai cosa dici. That's the same type of feature, the same type of thing happens in Italian. Very well. Grazie, posso dire in quale luogo in Italia? Sì, sì, puoi dirlo. In quale luogo? In quale luogo? It's very formal. In quale luogo in Italia? Quale luogo? Luogo. Luogo is formal. You can use posto. In quale posto in Italia? In quale parte d'Italia? In quale zona della città? Of course, yeah, the word luogo is very formal. So, yeah, but it's absolutely fine. You know, a lot of the language learning after a certain I always teach beginners and intermediate people because teaching advanced speakers is impossible. Advanced speakers learn through being in Italy and through making a fool of themselves constantly. You know, you say something, oh, okay, it sounds really stupid. You find out why, you don't say it anymore. So now you're more conscious and aware, and you go ahead like this. There's nobody that's ever become advanced by reading books or, you know, even, you know, doing it through sessions like this. It's good, but it's slow because, as you can see, like, you have to ask lots of questions. But definitely ask questions because it's good. In quale luogo? Of course, it's correct. Forse il posto a mezzo. I believe, Mark, you're saying maybe like meet in a sort of midpoint related to some other conversation. I'm not sure. Grazie, Claudio. Ciso. Ottimo. Ottimo. Ok, ragazzi. Buona domenica, buona settimana. Studiate l'italiano. Ci vediamo presto.